every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years, and every time I see her perform, she kills a room, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do comedy anywhere, and that's the type of person I want with me.
Right. Welcome to the 2-Minute Shift. 2 minutes of wisdom designed to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward in your journey. As I reflect on my journey, I think about all the opportunities that I had right in front of me that I allowed my self-doubt to get in the way of. I would sit back and analyze all the people in those opportunities or in those positions, and I would analyze their skill sets, their backgrounds, and what I saw them do day to day, and I frankly didn't see that in myself. I would even have leaders sometimes come to me and see more in me than I saw in myself. But all I could think about was, I don't have that background. I don't have those skills. What if I get into that opportunity and I fail? What's going to happen then? I allowed that fear of rejection to make me pause in my tracks and not do anything. But it was until I got to that point of being fed up and saying, I don't want to just float. I wonder if I can soar, because I know I can just float. So I took that leap. And when I finally took that leap into those opportunities, I realized not only could I do it, I actually belonged in that room. And I had something to offer. And that's how I was really able to impact the people that I was supposed to impact, by taking that leap. After doing that over and over again, one of the first things that I learned was, you're either going to do something great or you're going to learn something. You only fail if you stop. And I wasn't about to stop. So if you can learn anything from me and keep from having to go through that same learning lesson, the one thing I'm going to challenge you to do is believe in yourself. Or if you don't believe in yourself, why would those people who see more in you than you see in you be advocating so hard if it wasn't something there? Take that leap, because I promise you the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something or you're going to do something amazing. Either way, you're going to be better than you are right now by just taking that leap. I hope this shifted your perspective just a little.
I hear you, man. No, I seen the video. They're hilarious, dude. You are funny. The problem is you're not getting any views, so it's probably time for you to take a stroll. Not a whole stroll, a stroll down Creator Ave, bro. Creator Ave is a place that posts top quality comedy content, vlogs, podcasts, stand-up comedy. These people know funny, and I guarantee you they can get more views on your content than you can. Absolutely. Yeah, you're funny, man. Why you keep asking me that? Why would I lie to you? Do I look like your baby mama? You are hilarious, and the world needs to hear your jokes. Creator Ave. Go now. Tell them Tony sent you. I gotta go, dog. That's my wife calling me. All right, peace out.
Right, because I choose violence this day.
Yeah.
I want the people that came on stage before me to be hilarious.
You're like, I'm human.
So that's why I got Barbara Carlisle, who's like a veteran. She's super funny no matter what. Every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years, and every time I see her perform, she kills a room, no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do comedy anywhere, and that's the type of person I want with me.
Right. Welcome to the 2-Minute Shift. 2 minutes of wisdom designed to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward in your journey. As I reflect on my journey, I think about all the opportunities that I had right in front of me that I allowed my self-doubt to get in the way of. I would sit back and analyze all the people in those opportunities or in those positions, and I would analyze their skill sets, their backgrounds, and what I saw them do day to day, and I frankly didn't see that in myself. I would even have leaders sometimes come to me and see more in me than I saw in myself. But all I could think about was, I don't have that background. I don't have those skills. What if I get into that opportunity and I fail? What's going to happen then? I allowed that fear of rejection to make me pause in my tracks and not do anything. But it was until I got to that point of being fed up and saying, I don't want to just float. I wonder if I can soar, because I know I can just float. So I took that leap. And when I finally took that leap into those opportunities, I realized not only could I do it, I actually belonged in that room. And I had something to offer. And that's how I was really able to impact the people that I was supposed to impact, by taking that leap. After doing that over and over again, one of the first things that I learned was, you're either going to do something great or you're going to learn something. You only fail if you stop. And I wasn't about to stop. So if you can learn anything from me and keep from having to go through that same learning lesson, the one thing I'm going to challenge you to do is believe in yourself. Or if you don't believe in yourself, why would those people who see more in you than you see in you be advocating so hard if it wasn't something there? Take that leap, because I promise you the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something or you're going to do something amazing. Either way, you're going to be better than you are right now by just taking that leap. I hope this shifted your perspective just a little.
I hear you, man. I seen the videos. They're hilarious, dude. You are funny. The problem is you're not getting any views, so it's probably time for you to take a stroll. Not a whole stroll down Creator Ave, bro. Creator Ave is a place that posts top quality comedy content, vlogs, podcasts, stand-up comedy. These people know funny, and I guarantee you they can get more views on your content than you can. Absolutely. But yeah, you're funny, man. Why you keep asking me that? Why would I lie to you? Do I look like your baby mama? You are hilarious, and the world needs to hear your jokes. Creator Ave. Go now. Tell them Tony sent you. I gotta go, dog. That's my wife calling me. All right, peace out.
Right, because I choose violence this day.
Yeah.
I want the people that came on stage before me to be hilarious.
You're like, I'm human.
So that's why I got Barbara Carlisle, who's like a veteran. She's super funny no matter what. Every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years. And every time I see her perform, she kills a room no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do comedy anywhere. And that's the type of person I want with me.
Right.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Shift. 2 minutes of wisdom designed to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward in your journey. As I reflect on my journey, I think about all the opportunities that I had right in front of me that I allowed my self-doubt to get in the way of. I would sit back and analyze all the people in those opportunities or in those positions, and I would analyze their skill sets, their backgrounds, and what I saw them do day to day, and I frankly didn't see that in myself. I would even have leaders sometimes come to me and see more in me than I saw in myself. But all I could think about was, I don't have that background. I don't have those skills. What if I get into that opportunity and I fail? What's going to happen then? I allowed that fear of rejection to make me pause in my tracks and not do anything. But it was until I got to that point of being fed up and saying, I don't want to just float. I wonder if I can soar, because I know I can just float. So I took that leap. And when I finally took that leap into those opportunities, I realized not only could I do it, I actually belonged in that room. And I had something to offer. And that's how I was really able to impact the people that I was supposed to impact, by taking that leap. After doing that over and over again, one of the first things that I learned was, you're either going to do something great or you're going to learn something. You only fail if you stop. And I wasn't about to stop. So if you can learn anything from me and keep from having to go through that same learning lesson, the one thing I'm going to challenge you to do is believe in yourself. Or if you don't believe in yourself, why would those people who see more in you than you see in you be advocating so hard if it wasn't something there? Take that leap, because I promise you the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to learn something or you're going to do something amazing. Either way, you're going to be better than you are right now by just taking that leap. I hope this shifted your perspective just a little.
I hear you, man. No, I seen the video. They're hilarious, dude. You are funny. The problem is you're not getting any views, so it's probably time for you to take a stroll. Not a whole stroll down Creator Ave, bro. Creator Ave is a place that posts top quality comedy content, vlogs, podcasts, stand-up comedy. These people know funny, and I guarantee you they can get more views on your content than you can. Absolutely. But yeah, you're funny, man. Why you keep asking me that? Why would I lie to you? Do I look like your baby mama? You are hilarious, and the world needs to hear your jokes. Creator Ave. Go now. Tell them Tony sent you. I gotta go, dog. That's my wife calling me. All right, peace out.
Right, because I choose violence this day.
Yeah.
I want the people that came on stage before me to be hilarious.
You're like, I'm human.
So that's why I got Barbara Carlisle, who's like a veteran. She's super funny no matter what. Every time I've ever seen her perform, and she's been doing comedy for 40 years, and every time I see her perform, she kills a room no matter where we are in the world, no matter what kind of room. I used to do shows with her in Japan. She used to perform for all the troops all over the world. Like, she can do comedy anywhere. And that's the type of person I want with me.
Right.
Welcome to the 2-Minute Shift. 2 minutes of wisdom designed to help you pause, reflect, and to move forward in your journey. As I reflect on my journey, I think about all the opportunities that I had right in front of me that I allowed my self-doubt to get in the way of. I would sit back and analyze all the people in those opportunities or in those positions.
Cougar Chronicles. What's the scoop? What's the dish? What's the issue? What's your wish? What's your love affair? Maybe you can share. Maybe you can share. Cause if you do the baby, you can share.
Good evening. Welcome to Cougar Chronicles. We're 15 episodes in, and we're powered by the Like Minds Come Through Network. And I'm your host, Barbara Carlisle. And just in case y'all didn't know, I decided to put my hater blockers on because sometimes I have to block some of these haters that come on here and disagree with what I have to say or disagree with everybody. Like Kevy Kell, who will be on in a little while. He waits till he gets audience and then he comes on and causes havoc. Then he tries to incorporate Malt Leasy, but Malt Leasy is a little bit smart sometimes, and sometimes he stick up for us ladies. I don't know what it is today. He's the only man, so he better do the best he can today. We're gonna start meeting everybody on here tonight. We got some more people coming on, at least they said they would, but it doesn't matter whether we have 1 or 1,000. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to talk about what we got to talk about. So if you want to come on Facebook, or you want to come through the network, come on Zoom, even if you don't say something, just come on, and you don't have to show your face. You can type what you want and we'll read what you say and have people respond to it. Okay? All right. So again, if you can, let me do this plug. I will be resuming, or we will be resuming our Funny and Fearless tour at the end of June and going into July. But I have some dates coming up, and next week I will be in Connecticut for 2 days. May 31st, I'll be in Hartford, and I'll be in New Haven May 30th. June 7th, that's Juneteenth, celebration in Meta, Georgia. Me and the the Real Housewives of Comedy will be on. I'm having difficulty talking, probably because I'm swinging back and forth, and when I do it, that little light goes off between my ears. July 18th and 19th, we will be in the Columbus, Ohio area and Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So tonight we got Raw Report, Cougar Cravings, and the Cougar Council. So are y'all ready? Let's go. We're gonna start. Malt Leezy, I'm not gonna start with you this time because you always make sure you get up there in that top right corner. So we're gonna start with the ladies. Since you're the only man in here today, we want everybody else to introduce themselves. Let's start in the middle. The middle square. Diane Porter, tell us about yourself, where you're calling from, and what you're doing here.
Hello, everybody. I'm Diane Court, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and looking forward to the Chronicles tonight.
Yes, ma'am. Diane Porter said that.
Yeah.
These just jokes. All right. Next to her, we got Sandra. Sandra, how are you? Tell us where you're coming from.
Coming from New Jersey.
Okay. What part of New Jersey? The whole state, or you got a specific city?
I have been everywhere. Today, I've been north, I've been south, and now I'm back over here on this end. So I'm in Willingboro.
Willingboro. Are you willing to burrow
I am
into
willing to burrow into what Barbara Carlisle got to say today.
Yep, I'm glad you are. Latoya S. If y'all have not done it, please, and Latoya, please put your information over in our chat box. Go and check out some of these videos from this girl. She goes above and beyond to get across all these things that she needs to get across. And we're gonna start featuring some, and Mark Leasy does the same thing. He does a lot of stuff on his and we are not adverse to letting y'all put y'all stuff out there. Not that, I mean, if I could really get a lot of people on here, I wouldn't have to beg y'all to come on, but at least somebody will see it, and we're going to push it as much as we possibly can. Latoya, tell us about yourself.
Yes, I am Latoya. I live in a beautiful town called Twin City, Georgia, literally right down the road from your host, Barbara Carlisle. Like
Yeah, but we trying to
other.
get her out the community. Believe you that. We're trying to get her out of the community.
So she is my next door neighbor, love her to death. But yeah, so I am a content creator. Well, I'm new at it. So I have Facebook and I have TikTok and I just do videos just really for fun. But yeah, that's enough about me.
Okay, but when you get a chance, please put your information over in the chat so that people will know how to get in contact with you. Alicia, how are you, Alicia? You got to unmute yourself.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, hey, she was so excited she forgot to even take her ears off. Go ahead, baby.
I'm Alicia. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. I'm not a content creator or anything. I'm just on here to participant. So
yeah, but I must commend you because you are very learned when it comes to a lot of these topics that we are and I that really drives me because I like when people can come on here and and I'm not saying that the other people aren't, but I don't know you, so I know everybody else, but I'm very impressed by when you get on here and you give your opinion. So thank you for coming on and bring some of your other friends, unless you talk too much and they was like, shh, I'm trying to get away from this heifer. But thank you, darling. Thank you for coming on. Bella, let us know where you're joining us from, Bella.
Hi, Hey
Hi.
everybody. Hey Bella here. I am Metro Atlanta area, Loganville, just to be
Loganville.
specific.
And
Mhm.
Bella is stand-up comic as well.
Mhm. Yep, I
Oh,
am.
okay. So all right, y'all, let's get into it because before you know it, it'll be 9:30 and we wouldn't have done anything, covered any of the things that we have to cover. Okay, let's talk about this. On May 15th, the historic Nottaway Plantation House in White Castle, Louisiana, a 53,000 square foot antebellum mansion was destroyed by a massive blaze that left it a total loss. No injuries were reported. The cause remains under investigation, and the fire has reignited debates about preserving sites tied to America's legacy of slavery. What say y'all?
What Malcolm
And
says, the chicken's coming home to roost,
yeah, yeah.
or the roast at this point.
No, yeah, the roast, yeah, but don't. That was good. Okay. Well,
I am not sad.
uh, um, and I hate to say this, but they burned down a whole Black Wall Street. So I'm not saying that this was arson or anything, but I I can't show any sympathy for all the things that they have burned down and whatever. And God works in mysterious ways. His wonders to behold. But I'm sorry if they lost relics or anything, but that was a fire that did that kind of thing. But just think about the fact that they are going into all our sacred places and getting our relics and getting all our things that people have donated to our heritage. So uh, I don't know. I don't know. Anyone else?
Okay, I was gonna let one of the ladies speak. Oh,
Oh, did we didn't even let you
they
introduce
don't know me.
yourself. Go ahead, tell me
They
about it.
don't know me. You seen you put me out. You know what I
I'm
mean? I'm just
sorry.
over
Go
here.
ahead. Tell us where you're coming on from. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Malt Leasy, man. Please follow me. I follow you back. I'm coming from Brunswick City, Georgia. My mama from Garfield, Georgia. They be talking about Twin City, call it Garfield. You know what
No,
I'm talking
no,
about?
don't say no Garfield. Whew.
Say Garfield. Say,
You know
say,
Garfield too small to be in Twin City.
it's out there though. Yeah. But no, I think yeah, man. It burned down for Juneteenth.
Ah, is that what it is? You think that's what it was?
That's what it was. Juneteenth. It set it up, man. We're gonna have a barbecue, man. We're gonna go out there, cut the grass, save what grass we can save from the fire, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and we just, let's enjoy it, you know.
Does
Enjoy it.
anybody on here think that it was arson, or do you think that because they said it started in a back room and they had faulty wiring back there, so
I would
Ooh.
say it was built in 1859, and
I'm
they
sure it
just
wasn't up to
been.
code.
Mm-mm.
I didn't
I
I didn't
seen the
hear you,
inside of
Bella.
it. It was pretty in the inside of, like, yeah, it did probably had a lot of relics and stuff. They probably it was a resort or a venue for weddings actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they used it for. But the actual owner, the Randolph family, their cemetery is on that land also, next to actually where the house was
Mm-hmm. So
and
it's
everything.
the family plot that's over there?
Yes.
Who knows? They might even have slave graves over there too that they probably covered up or dug up or done something.
At least back somewhere on that land.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Well,
Could be
think
an
an
insurance
Australian, a
thing.
hopefully,
Australian
did
billionaire
it
own it
burn?
now.
Did it totally burn? Were they able to save anything? Anybody knows?
The main building,
Um,
they said the main building burned, but it
Okay.
has a lot of different facilities on that land.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, did they have like things that you could go in and see that really demean black people, like that might have had, the Sambo kind of artifacts and
When I
all that
seen
kind of
that,
stuff
because
like
they
that.
show pictures of it, like on the internet, like them touring the houses, because they do tours and they do weddings, there. But it was like everything was like as of in the 1800s, small furniture. You know how it looked with that
Hmm.
wood
Like the antebellum
graving.
stuff.
Yeah, all
Mhm.
the stuff was almost like original stuff. It was smaller than our normal furniture was and things like
And
that.
I would think that that would be, they wanted to give it that same kind of feel for when it was
Hmm.
actually inhabited. Are they living there, or is it just like a place people can go and just, you know.
Well, I know there's 9 cottages on the land because, like I said, it's a wedding venue. They got 2 different separate venues. Then they have nine
Uh,
cottages and like little salons and stuff like that. But I think the main house was more for tours.
okay. Okay. All right.
Ooh,
We're gonna come back to this one. Chris Brown is in the news. He's in jail. He remains in custody in the UK. I don't know what happened. If anybody knows why they have him like that, he was supposed to um, uh, come back to have his June 13th concert, but they're saying no. He has a 2023 nightclub assault charge. He'll reapply for bail ahead of a June 13th hearing, putting his upcoming Breezy Bowl 20 World Tour in jeopardy.
mm-hmm. Because they're
What
supposed to
say
start
y'all?
the 8th.
I thought he had stopped being a bad boy. I thought he had learned. He is so very talented. He could be the next Michael Jackson, in my contention.
Well,
But
it probably was a moment of passion. Yeah, you
mhm.
know what I mean. He was in the moment at the club. That dude drink a
Did
lot.
people, um,
Well,
when sometimes people put you in a position where you have to defend
Defend
yourself,
yourself.
or
Mm-hmm.
because of jealousy. They will come up, and if you come in and all the women are going toward you, or all the men are, because they're thinking that you a celebrity or whatever. And some people just start something for nothing, you know, and because they know they can do stuff, and hopefully they get to sue or whatever. So I
where
don't
was
know what.
security? That's my thing.
Well,
Where was
sometimes they've gotten to the point where a lot of them don't, when it's a whole cluster of them, they probably figure they don't need security. And sometimes security run faster than other people. So,
Yeah, that's true. I just still feel like anybody to get that close to Chris Brown, either they got money like Chris, or Chris was
Mm-hmm.
mingling a little bit too hard with the locals. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, probably that. Probably
Yeah.
the mingling too hard, and some people don't learn
Some people
that.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
you that approachable? Oh man, let me. I always wanted to touch Chris Brown's shoulder. I always wanted to touch, you know what I mean? Some shit like that. And he just went cross state top. He just
And
forgot what he was
I had to learn the hard way that
doing.
everybody doesn't, even though people will holler that they love you and whatever, but jealousy is something that a lot of people cannot control because they don't want to control it. I mean, when I was in different places, you know, people will come up to you and pretend that they like you, but a lot of people they don't have any goodwill toward you. So you really do have to be careful about who you let in your space. You know,
His
uh,
his team should have caught that though, because that
Yep.
happened in 2013. And he was just over there, I guess going to Amsterdam. I think that's where it kick off at, was supposed to kick off at.
mhm.
They should have caught that, that charge before he
I
went over
agree.
there.
Yeah, I agree. His team let him down because they should have
Mhm.
already known that that he had a warrant. They should have known that there was some grievances over there,
Well, he did not
and
know. Did he not know? I mean, sometimes we got to be responsible for ourselves
mhm.
too.
I mean,
Did
he
he
know
not
he
know,
know
or
he hit
did he think it was?
he probably I'm thinking he probably trusted his team handle it because he hit a man over the head with a beer bottle. I mean, not a beer, a liquor bottle, and the man had to go
Mhm.
to the hospital and get stitches. Like I'm sure he was aware of that.
Did they leave that night, or I'm sure they got him up
I,
out
that
of there.
Think he went to jail that night, Auntie. I think he went to jail that night, but then he got money. He was on tour or whatever he was doing. Maybe he was on vacation, and
Mm-hmm.
then he bailed out. But what is the statute of limitation of limitation or whatever that's called?
Overseas?
Yeah,
Overseas, I
Uh,
mean, their rules are totally different from
totally
ours,
different.
Mhm.
Totally
and
different.
And it,
a lot of people overseas think that Americans are very arrogant, and so they're looking for any reason
we
to lock
are.
you
mhm.
behind up, and
And
We are.
he
most
is
Yeah,
performers give
I
them a
lived in the
reason.
UK for 6 years, so it's very different. No, they think we are spoiled.
Yes,
Um,
and we are,
pri-
some of us,
and we are, and privileged, and yeah, they.
haughty.
Well, if a nigga over there spending money, and I ain't trying to move in over here. Let me act how I want to act while I'm on vacation. I'm spending money.
But
You know.
that's just like if somebody came to Brunswick and just because they got money and they want to come to a club where you might hang out, you and your boys might hang out and do performing, and then all of a sudden they want to come in and act like they're not respecting the locals or whatever. Um,
Right.
so I don't know. Some people just I
But
don't know.
they'll go to jail here too. But they going that night. We ain't gonna come back and get you later.
They
You know
go
what I
that
mean?
night.
Nah, they'll come. They'll come back and get you later. Over there on
That's
some stuff.
crazy. They did old girl Brittany, the basketball player. She had this when she went to jail across these. She just stayed. She ain't even get
Yeah,
to come back.
Hmm.
yeah. I mean,
Their court system is different.
And she ain't got
Uh,
money like Chris Brown.
I think Chris got to go to the Crown Court now. Like he ain't going to the regular court. He got to go to the Crown Court,
Damn,
and
what's
that's
that?
why he can't get in and out because he can't get a date in the Crown Court until June 13th, whatever it
he
is.
could get a date, but they are making sure he doesn't.
he's a
Because
flight risk.
people will throw red tape in whenever they feel the need to, and he probably mouthed off because
I wonder
Chris
how they
does have a
treat him
little.
over there, man.
How
You
what?
don't think
What
How they
you
treat him
should be
like is he?
wondering how they treating Puffy.
Well, you know how
Oh,
they treat him. Puff showing you how they treat him. He
Yeah,
just stressed out. You know.
yeah. Puff is not stressed out about how they're treating him in jail. He's stressed out about what people are saying. That
yeah.
all his chickens are coming home to roost.
Hey,
Everybody. I mean, Prince is speaking from the grave. So let's go into that. Diddy trial, the latest. In Manhattan federal court this week, Sean Diddy Combs' former assistant David James resumed testimony detailing the so-called freak-off sex parties at the heart of the prosecution. Tomorrow, Cassie Ventura's mother, Regina Ventura, is expected to testify about alleged threats and violence toward her daughter. What say you?
child, I don't think Diddy gonna get in no trouble for this, man. I don't see nothing but a bunch of. It's like I said last time. It's a humiliation ritual. That's what I think. They ain't got nothing on them. Get to the
I think
case.
he will get in trouble because he did a lot, and he included some white folks. So they everybody coming out the woodwork, and God will only let you do so much for so long,
I
and
believe that
he
too.
has been doing dirt for a long time. And it went to his head. He
uh-huh.
when you start thinking that you are untouchable and I mean, people don't learn. They don't know when to stop, when to quit.
And bringing other people in. You keep
and
bringing
some of
in.
the stuff that he's doing that they are talking about was done. All those parties and having those kids as early as young as 9 at those parties and whatever, and then they're showing him in all those pictures with Epstein and some of the other people, and they they're saying a lot of people trying to get out of the country before it
They don't
gets
want their
too high.
business. Yeah, they don't want their business out there like that. Because right now they just
Oh
talking
well,
about.
they're showing the pictures because they're talking about Steve Harvey's daughter, uh, dating both Puffy and his son. So and Steve
Right.
Harvey, they got pictures of him being at some of the places. They actually got pictures of a lot of people over there. Kevin Hart is catching it. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying. See, these
everybody.
people are afraid
That
to
reach
lose.
is
These,
I'm sitting here wondering, did I ever go to one of the parties? I mean, I know I didn't, but
It's almost
AI
like
put anybody anywhere.
it's almost like Black Hollywood coming down. You
Yeah.
know, because they ain't touching on nobody else but the black people, really.
Right
You
now,
know,
I mean, it finally took them a while to get what his name uh Harvey Weinstein, because
yeah,
he was doing basically the same
but
thing. But
yeah,
I
but
don't
then
think
it was
anybody was doing it on the level as Chris. I mean Diddy. I guess now he
well,
gotta
I
take
don't
that.
know. I think Harvey Weinstein probably was doing more, but it was a lot of people covered up in there. Nobody really came out in that case. If it was, it came out and then it left. Nobody
Yeah.
cared.
What did they do to him? Did they send him to jail? What is he? What's happening with him?
Yeah,
Ooh,
he's in
Harvey
prison.
Weinstein, he locked up. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, and he's sick too. They say he's really sick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's really sick.
Well, they all get old. They got old, and they start putting them on TV with them looking all old and crippled, and they need help to get around and all this other stuff. But they Harvey Weinstein still locked up. They killed him. But Epstein, they killed him in prison
Epstein.
because he had all of those. Because you're looking at celebrities, and then you got that Prince over in England. Uh, the
Not more,
boy's
not
uncle. Yeah, he was
uh
involved in all of that too, because they brought him up. And then the lady that was the one that was getting those girls for Epstein. It was a lot of people involved in that was high up. That's why they killed this behind in jail.
They ain't need no more names to come out.
I
Yeah, that's
still
what that
say,
was about.
all they talking about is like all the freaky shit he did. It's like this. Everybody's in the sex pool. How deep you swim is on you. You can't tell that man how deep to swim in his pool now. You know what I'm saying? But when they get,
okay, that's true too. But think about some of the things he was making people do just to get a contract. A lot
was
of
he
these
making them?
people, he
Yeah,
led them to
absolutely.
believe when
I mean,
you invite people to a party and give them a drink knowing that you have laced it with drugs, yes, you are misleading them.
well, auntie, the devil do the same thing. It's up to you to make the decision, though. These grown
So
folk.
you cannot
Oh,
make a
they didn't
decision.
know.
You can't make the decision if you thinking that
If
you're
you
going to
are
get a contract
cannot
and
make a
you
decision.
have no reason to believe that somebody is not going to be on the up and up with you. And a
And
lot
then
of
when
these
someone
people,
when they put something in your drug, your your
drugs
will
in
is
your
taken
drink, you
away
mean?
from all of that. I mean,
And
drugs in your
doctor,
drink.
so
That your
trying
will
to
is taken
win.
away. It's taken away. There's
Absolutely.
no decision making at this point. Now you are making all the decision because now you've given me something that I can't even, I can't make my own
Function.
decisions no more. Yeah, I'm not functioning. I'm not that. So if you want the person to make the decision, you want to be the one to, be on the up and up and so forth and so on. You gave them opportunity. That's a bunch of bull. There's no need for, and then these people were young. Even that girl was 19 years old. They are too young to,
They even have people as young as 9 years old and whatever. And
yeah,
then
so that's that
he
right.
was
Yeah,
going
the
out of
devil.
he was going out of town and going out of the country getting sex workers. I didn't even know it was an occupation. I mean, I know hoeing was hoeing, but I ain't know. I just thought it was
Well,
prostitution. I ain't know it had.
They got
Well, Barbara, they
Yeah,
owe you a lot of money. That's all
They
I'm
owe
saying.
me
If you could
some
just go
money.
yeah.
back and get, I know.
More
So
than
hey,
Why they
if you'd
trying
have
$50.
to?
I
known,
want all my $40.
I think that's the main topic. Should be the main topic right there if they want to talk about anything. It's the sex trafficking.
Yeah, they released the pictures of the gentlemen that were they were hired sex workers today. And they
Yeah,
were
I
really
saw
I
the
tell you one
pictures.
thing,
One of the
they're
comics
diverse.
put their picture up there too. JJ, I think JJ Williamson put his
So
picture
what
on
was
there.
it? So the race, so the pictures, the sex workers was a black or they were all
No,
black
They
or
were
they were predominantly white and like probably Hispanic or
Latino, whites,
Latino
yeah.
something.
He was very diverse. He doesn't really have a type, but I mean nobody really screams super masculine to me, but you
yeah,
know.
well, yeah. So it's predator, right? So you can go out of the country and get somebody who can't, right? There's no economy in those places. So
Did
it's
you hear
all
that?
and to say that you can't tell a man how. It was scientifically proved when somebody drug you, your inhibitors are down. Your
Inhibitions.
receptors. I think it's called receptors. I might be wrong, but I think it's your receptors. They stop working, so your
That
brain
your
is literally
legs
not
got stopped
functioning.
working
It needs to
and
be
they just open on their own. From what I
right.
heard.
They need to be. He needs to be under the jail. And when people defend him, I'm looking at you, not or men. A lot of men are defending him. Oh, he did what? No, you don't get to have autonomy. I mean, we have what's called autonomy of our own bodies. The stuff he did, he should be under the jail. And children
And
and
two,
her. And Cassie wasn't willing. She was groomed. And when you
yeah.
get into a
And
place,
that's and I'm so tired. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm so tired of the women that are coming on saying, "Well, she allowed it to happen.
no, she
She could have
didn't.
been gone." But it
No,
is
she
not
didn't.
as easy as you
She
think it
was a
is because those
child.
people know how to groom you into believing that they really care for you.
Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
start off being the best person that they could possibly be, and then their true colors begin to. And by that time, your emotions are all over
We're
the
going.
place,
Most of us
and
have.
I
you are
think some
thinking to
people don't
yourself,
understand the
"Well, all
definition
I
of
remember is
grooming.
how good he was, or whatever."
Mm.
Most people don't understand. Most women will admit we had somebody who played us like we really
Yeah,
thought they cared for us, and we
women
felt
think
for
with
it.
their
Most of us
hearts.
fell for that, fell for it when we were really young. He told you this, and you believed him. Oh, we used to remember. We used to say, "Oh, he's deep. He's smart." Most of us have been taking advantage of a man. And so this is why so many men are defending him because they've done it too. And coercion is a crime. I had to tell my friend, my male friend, coercion is a crime. Oh, I don't see he goes, oh, I don't see where the crime was done yet. I said, first of all, they're building a case, number one. You don't know how it starts, right? We haven't watched anything so closely. I'm not really watching it closely because I can't. I'm annoyed and angry and saddened by so many lives he affected.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm, I'm
I
on.
tried to watch. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah. Let me go ahead before I get too far on. I'm the only guy on here now. I'm not defending Diddy. Before that get too far, before that go any further, I kind of I heard something just then. That ain't me. I'm just making conversation. I'm just saying when it get to the case, then cool. All this other stuff that he did, like okay, with the kid, of course, with the kids, that's fucked up. That's wrong. Okay, if you drugging people, that's fucked up. That's wrong. But the other little shit that they talking about, like all the rubbing the semen on the nipples and all, that's what did it do? That's fucked up. It's crazy. It's sick, but that's just it ain't
Yeah,
illegal.
that shouldn't be a
Get to
Yeah,
focus.
but
when they get to
I
the
mean,
hold on. I'm gonna let my plane. Then I'll let you got it. He once they get to the case, if he did the sex trafficking, if he a monster like they say he is, drugging people and all that, then yeah, didn't need to be under the jail. Nah, I'm done with that. I just saying I'm not agreeing with the man. I'm just saying, the other shit is just he just freaky. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah. I think that's the
They
thing
just
that's kind of hindering me from watching. I thought that I could follow it like I did the OJ case back in the day, right? But this is until they get to the nitty gritty of the actual crime, it was very uncomfortable for me to listen to because right now he just looked like a nasty old man. You know what I'm saying? Perverted, distorted man. But until they get to like the
but
actual,
you got to think about the fact that they were saying some of these artists that died, he had a hand in it.
I believe every piece of it.
Oh, now that part there, if he's killing people,
Yeah, that part there.
I was
he
or
wait.
having people killed or whatever.
Yeah,
unalive.
he didn't kill anybody. He had them killed. And you know, I was at a film festival years ago, and I met the guy Shakim or somebody, and he was like, "Yeah, Diddy wants to do movies, and I've been writing for years." And I was something in me said, "No, no, no, you don't want to work with Diddy." Like, I shook the guy's hand. He gave me his card, and some said, "Diddy? Oh no, you ain't that desperate to get in the business. Oh no, no." And he killed him, and he's supposed to have killed himself. Rumor has it that he was trying to get with Kim Porter, so he killed them. And so that didn't even need monstrosity because Kim, you was done with Kim, but she was supposed to sit there like a doll and not have any other relationship for the rest of her life. He is a sicko. He started off a sicko. My coworker told me to watch the documentary on, I think, Tubi that TMZ did when he beat the girl with a belt on the campus of Howard University. Why didn't somebody do something then? Because if you're beating somebody with a belt on a college campus in the open,
You know, the thing about those F, black colleges, HBCUs, they sweep a lot of stuff under the rug. You
and that makes
know, because they don't have a lot of good funding, so they don't want too much to get out of there to deter people from sending their kids.
oh, I see
I
what you're
mean,
saying. It makes sense. Yeah.
it's crazy that people got that kind of mind to think that they can just do whatever they want to do. But it's crazy. It's
And it's
man,
sad, but so
They
and the
live in a
thing
world
is,
where stuff is normalized.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
and then we have a lot of unhealthy norms in the community. So, okay, the boy, there's a lot of conversations when the whole R. Kelly stuff. Oh, we all know high school girls that was going with grown men. It was normal. It was still predatory and unhealthy. Those girls was going with grown men because they wanted some sneakers or they wanted some clothes and their mama was on welfare, no judgment, whatever, or they didn't have much. They wasn't going with them because they desired them. Those girls was literally, some of those girls was literally hungry and their parents was out in the street strung out. So it was never a healthy like dating relationship because why was that man going to a high school going for a child? So don't say because it was normal. We got a lot of I'm working on something on unhealthy norms in our community. We got many unhealthy norms in our
yes,
community. So
that's true.
don't try to
That sounds like an
oh it was
oxymoron.
normal. It was
Unhealthy norm.
predatory.
Mm.
But no, but you
One
know what a
cancels
norm
out the
means, right?
other.
No, it doesn't. Because we misunderstand the use of the word norm. Normal doesn't mean positive. We think normal means positive. Normal means common. That's what normal means. Look it up. Google it right now. Normal. We our understanding of the use of the word is that it's it's good. Oh, that's normal. No, it's common. That's what normal means. Of the norm.
No,
It's
we made it
it's of
mean
the
that.
norm.
We
No.
made the connotation of the word to be that. Because how can it be normal and still be repulsive or against standards? You know?
Because I think some things are against standards, that are normal. They have been made normal that shouldn't be, and we have just accepted those things. Because everybody, it's like when you come in a new job and be like, oh, because this is where we always do it. It's still get a result, but it's not the more correct way, I should say, or the more honest way, or what. I
Yeah.
think there are some unhealthy things that we don't we try to make it look like it's not unhealthy. Like you were saying about the men um taking up for Diddy. Well, they don't want to look at their own self in that light. So they
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They be like, oh, it's normal. That's that unhealthy normal, I think.
Or they try to put it on the woman. And now you got a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl that ain't really fully developed mentally.
No, she a
And
child.
she's supposed to be able to make sound decisions and use sound judgment. But hey. It's always going to be like that, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay, welcome, Kevin. And Sarah came in while we were on. Kevin Kev. Who else came in? G Mama came in before we got a chance. G Mama, where are you coming? Where are you joining us from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn's in the house. Kevin Kev,
Yes, ma'am.
what's strong? We're talking about the Diddy case. What say you?
I said Diddy done did what he done.
Diddy done did it.
Yeah, it don't look good. And now I heard something about some testimony
Well,
that
somebody said they think he gonna get off.
he already got off. What do you mean? That's the reason why he in court.
Well, get let free. How about that?
Okay. Anyway, I heard there was some tape that was played by Prince. Or Prince
Oh
is
yeah, the recording.
man,
Prince
heavy.
warned them. Yeah.
That's heavy. That's
Prince
heavy.
Yeah,
warned him.
yeah.
Wait, I'm missing something. I've been busy all day.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too. What
Prince
happened?
Prince gave
Wait a minute. Why is
Sheila
it not
E.
loud enough?
Prince gave Sheila E. um some um some messages and told her about what Diddy was doing and whatever. And Sheila E. Got on and he was according to the what they were saying on YouTube, it really threw him because he didn't know that Prince was, you know, doing, and then he talked about how sick he was back then, and he was also Prince was fearful for his life. So I don't know what all was going on, what
So
this man
Prince
was
was
doing.
fearful for his own life or for
Yeah, his own
Diddy's
life.
life?
No. He was talking about what all the things Diddy was doing and getting away with. Not only Diddy, but all those people up there, probably all those uh, figureheads over the business and whatever, you know.
Right,
They said
because
they
rumor
had
has it, what's his name? Clyde Davis.
Yeah, all those kind of people like that. Yeah.
they were matching up federal bank accounts with amounts that Prince was saying that was paid out. He had seen checks. He had seen pictures of videos. He was saying, I don't know who was showing him all those things, but somebody was showing him, I guess, like documentations, the NDAs and all the stuff that, people had signed and all the
Oh,
paperwork.
people talk. Listen, people talk. I know people who know people. Well, those who are in entertainment, you meet people who know people. I have sat and listened to stories. I didn't even tell the stories. I just, when stuff come out, I'd be like, I heard that 10 years ago. Yeah, the house is gonna fall. And I love being black, but I cannot defend um black wrong people. It's not like they going after black. After the Me Too thing came out, everybody went. People from the news, what's the old Charlie Rose? Who knew he was an old dirty dog, that old fragile looking old white man? They're not going after him because he's black. These black people have done wrongdoing. Um they went into a club thinking that they was gonna win, and now it's time for what they call it. Every dog will have his day, for lack. Chickens come home to roost, for lack of a better way to explain it. Everybody who's gonna go down deserved to go down because somebody should have stood up. Like Denzel told some celebrity, he said, "Leave when you go to those parties. Leave before the devil come out."
Mm-hmm. Because
so everybody who went to the parties is not guilty. They said leave before the devil come out.
They said a certain time, to be out of there. And then once
Yeah.
they went one time, a lot of them never went back.
Yeah. So we can't implicate somebody because they was there, because they went and they never came back. I mean, they didn't go back. They was like, oh, this is too much for me.
So what about the people that signed the NDAs and all that? The ones that, you know what I'm saying, agreed to it.
Well, but you don't agree to it. Listen, we all see movies before. They give you an offer, you can't refuse. We've all seen movies. They be like, sign the NDA. You're like, sign it. And if you don't, we're gonna ruin you. We're gonna kill your mother. The threats are real. We're gonna kill your mama. We're gonna kill your son. You sign it. Just because you sign it, it's coercion. You sign it under duress. and duress is basically your fear for your life. It's not just because they signed something doesn't mean they was down for it. That means absolutely nothing. We've all seen movies. Movies actually it was outside of our scope of our experience, but movies actually mimic real life. So them signing it doesn't mean nothing. Like people say, Cassie asking a peanut in her mouth. Cassie was told when he get there, you're gonna do this and this and this. You're gonna ask him to pee in your mouth. You're gonna tell him you want that. None of that was her idea. That's not even something a young girl would fathom. This is what I want.
She admitted though that she did it though to try to like further, you know,
because she did it. She can because her lawyer counseled her
because she thought she loved him and she wanted to please him.
She did it under
the
duress.
Man that she fell in love with is not the man that
don't make it right.
Today.
It don't make it right now. Y'all right now. It don't make it right now. But it was a decision she made. She was 19. You know,
but we all make decisions that we regret.
No, but it's not a decision she made. It's the work. I need you to understand. No disrespect to you. Are you a hetero man?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I've never seen you in real life, but I don't have a judgment if you were not, because I have gay people in my family that I love very dearly.
So why ask the question?
I'm asking a question because if you're a hetero man, you've had influence over a woman. I want to know who to address, if it was over a man or over a woman. That's why I asked the question, so that I can be on the right path. You've had influence over a woman that you've done, and you didn't totally agree, but she kept letting you come back, and she did stuff for you, and she signed this for you, and she stay with you, and she took you back if you cheated. That is what women do. Women get influenced, especially if she was younger. They get influenced by men and start to think that word is the way. When you have a young girl and you brainwash her, she thinks that there's nothing outside of her experience.
Some of us old women can be brainwashed too now.
We learned that from the damn
have the gift of gab, and they can.
That's what I'm saying. Remember the terminology, like you said, the gift of gab. They be running game. Oh, don't hate the player, hate the game. They play games with us. They pretended they liked us. It is all wrong. You say it's illegal. Somebody said to me, it's not illegal. Coercion is illegal. It is not easy to prove, so every man don't get prosecuted for it, but it is illegal.
Anything that's coercion, co-worker, cohabitation, co-op.
Y'all are so stupid. Let's move on. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Did y'all see the outfit that 72-year-old Shaka Khan? The lace outfit at the recent live prompted fans online to question whether it was appropriate for a grandmom, even as she continues to electrify audiences alongside Patti LaBelle and Stephanie Mills. Did y'all get to see what she had on? She had on.
I saw it.
The fishnet stockings with a button.
Hey, she still got it.
I thought she looked nice.
I didn't see it.
She looked good.
But the thing about it was, that women who are in the business fall prey to having to keep up with a younger generation just to be relevant.
Shaka Khan been fine though. You know what I mean?
She wanted to wear that, so
you know.
It looked
but that
right.
Didn't look real. I'm not even talking about surgery. It looked like a pad.
Her butt was hanging. It couldn't have looked like a pad.
Was sagging. Her booty was just sagging, you know.
Wait, it was sagging a little bit.
I thought it was a pad sagging.
No, she had on fishnet stockings and bikini drawers or something. But 72, I don't know. We always think that we still got it, but sometimes it's like, okay, all righty.
But how old is Shaka Khan?
Let me ask you this though.
72.
Say you at a
72.
Say you on a cruise. Say you on a cruise or on the beach, right? And you want to wear
somebody has their TV. Hold on a minute, baby. Somebody has their TV or something playing in the background. Okay, go ahead, Alicia.
So say you on a beach or something or on a cruise and you want to wear your bathing suit and you a grandma. You shouldn't wear a bathing suit because of
That's
that.
the beach. They expect you to have
I'm
on a
just saying,
swimsuit.
but she's an
But she was
entertainer.
performing.
She's an entertainer.
She was an
So
entertainer, but she was performing with Stephanie Mills and who's the other person? One of the other people that was in there, and they weren't dressed like that. I mean, they just didn't expect it. I don't know. I
I
mean,
done
she
seen her
ain't.
wear some crazy shit though. She didn't always used to wear some crazy
yeah,
shit.
Shaka
You know?
Khan always been a different species to me sometimes.
Yeah, and she can still sing. She still got it, But I don't know.
She got a podcast, or it's not a podcast, or on a channel where she's like very spiritual. She's kind of free.
Do you have a picture of the outfit?
I could pull it up. Hold up.
Yeah, let me see, because I don't know what it looked like.
It was
All
all
you
right
had to
to
do
me,
was Google
man.
Shaka Khan fishnet, and it'll probably come up.
It was lace.
Shaka Khan
And
fishnet.
he talking about Shaka Khan fishnet, Shaka Khan. Why you had to say it like that? Why you didn't just say Shaka Khan? Why you say Shaka
Because
Khan?
that's what you think when you hear her name, Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
That's what we hear.
Shaka Khan.
That's what your brain.
Shut it up.
Let me rock it up. Let me rock you, Shaka Khan. Listen, you know what she
No,
did?
but
She
I
got
want
us
to know.
talking.
Do we owe anybody an explanation for how we dress or how we decide we want to come out?
No.
Then why do people have the right to say, "Oh, she shouldn't have worn that," or "She shouldn't have done"? What is that called? Body shaming?
I think so.
Nina Simone would have never did that. Nina Simone would have never did that. That's disrespectful to Nina Simone. And
I'm trying to find out. Is that you, Herlon, that's talking?
Yes.
Yes. You know
I
what
don't.
Shaka.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But that's Shaka Khan, though. That's not Nina Simone.
Oh, let me finish. Shaka Khan know better. Shaka Khan was a revolutionary. She was a rich Black Panther before she came who she is. She just got caught the hell up in that Babylon bullcrap. But
Hey,
yes, we should know better.
Show me a recent picture of Shaka Khan in fishnets.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it too.
Well, y'all need to find it with y'all mute on.
Nina Simone would have never did that bullcrap. Now,
how do you know? How do you know what Nina Simone did?
Nina Simone was doing the Betty Boop age with the leotards, wasn't she?
Show me
images
of Shaka Khan.
I saw her with a mesh
Here are some images of Shaka Khan.
But
Nina Simone,
Nina Simone, I think she was younger. I don't know. I think sometimes we know when we reached our limit.
You know what?
When the body ain't banging no more or whatever. And sometimes we might push the envelope.
Let me tell you why I know me.
I don't get that.
Where'd that come from? Push the envelope. What envelope? And what's in the envelope?
Sometimes you don't put the grease on, you don't lick the envelope so everything can stick back together. And it just be flapping. Everybody see your letter.
I can't comment because I didn't see
your check. They see your mail.
And Barbara, you keep throwing this stuff out here, but you don't have nothing to back it up. No picture, no nothing. We just going on what you say. She might have been having a.
I'm trying to Google the picture on the computer. I can't find it.
Me. Okay, he just put it up. You see what she got on? See, her body is not that bad. David Williams put it up.
Let me back it up. Let me back it up a little.
As a journalist, you supposed to come with the facts.
As a journalist, I send you to the facts and you go look it up.
That don't look bad at all.
It don't.
No, I think she looks nice.
She looks nice from the front, but her butt was hanging out looking weird.
What did you think about it? And she's 72, so I mean.
Yo, Lizzie, what you got that on? What was that on?
That's on Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah, I went on Facebook, dog.
I think TMZ had posted the video originally.
She don't look bad. She had a little, you know what I'm saying? That booty.
I mean, she still look good for 72. Wish my body looked like that at 72.
That booty was looking like a sweet
like that at 66. But
We ain't finna say nothing around there.
That booty was looking like a sweet potato back there. You know what I'm saying? But
looking like a sweet potato.
Yeah, like a bag
Why
of
it's
water.
Gotta be a sweet potato?
Or a bag of water.
You still hit it right, Lizzie. You still hit it right.
Yes, ma'am. That's Shaka Khan. Yes, ma'am. I sure will. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, only because she's Shaka Khan.
Yeah, man. That's on. That's about it. That's about it.
What about you, Cal? What about you?
What about me? What?
Would you go out on a date with her? Dressed like that?
With Shaka Khan? Well, it depends on where we going.
Shaka Zulu, not Shaka Khan. Shaka Zulu.
No, that's a Shaka Zulu was a man king. Now I wouldn't go out with him.
I know, but you know who I said who.
You said anyway. Yeah, I just saw it. Is that the thing where she's wearing the black sequence with the leotard?
Black sequence. She didn't have on sequence.
Yeah, that's it. It's like a cat suit with the fishnet stocking.
First, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I've seen a lot worse.
You don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
First of all, she's an entertainer. She's a performer. The thing about it is, like her, Diana Ross, I think they're scared to change up their style. The hair, first of all, change the hairstyle. We've been seeing that forever. And not only that, all these old performers, they're moving around and you can see they're moving very slow. So they have to change and adapt, but they can still do their thing. But and then some it's hard. They scared.
Why should they change and adapt? I mean,
okay, let me answer.
Everybody knows they have gotten older. As long as their voice is still there, the songs are still reaching the people. People are still singing along with them. I think we put too much emphasis on somebody being looking or acting a certain way.
No,
I agree.
When people age differently.
Once again, hear what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
Apparently not, because once again, people don't hear correctly. Okay,
you don't talk correctly.
First of all, I said here, Shaka Khan, Diana, they've had their hair or that hairstyle for the last 40 years.
Maybe they like that hairstyle.
Do you want to learn or listen? Which one you want to do? You can't do both.
I want to listen to somebody that'll make me learn.
It's like Madonna. She always changes up her style. That's good. She's creative. But there's no creativity. And when you see them on stage, it's like, wait a minute. You know, you dressing young, but you're moving old. Okay. Be in sync with yourself, number one. Okay. Not only that, give somebody something new to see. Okay.
Let me ask you this though, Kevin.
I'm sorry.
You've been in comedy over 30 years.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
What have you changed?
I've changed a lot of things. A lot of things. It's like, for perfect example, let me give you an example. Doing my material differently so it'll last longer. Sometimes
that's material. That's material. She's singing the same songs that are songs that are lasting long. So, you saying you're changing your image?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay, so why should she do it? Because you decide you wanted to do it. If the people are still listening to you and hearing what you're saying and liking what you used to do and what you're doing now, what does it matter what you look like?
It always matters. This is show business. It always matters. It always matters.
Yeah, but they know people got to get old.
People always comment, and the key thing is selling tickets. Okay, they're always selling tickets. You know what I'm saying? It's like whenever somebody comes out and you see the same thing over and over again, you ain't got it. It's like you ever know certain comics out there. I ain't gonna say no name. If you look at them and you've been in business a while, you're like, dang, they doing the same material.
But then you gotta stop and think. There's always somebody sitting in the audience that ain't never seen any of that.
Yeah.
And probably that's their first time ever seeing you, and they expect you to do a joke that they like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I add something to this? Specifically, because I'm talking about these women, Diana and Shaka Khan. These women are brands. You see what I'm saying? We're used to big hair. Shaka Khan is known for the big hair. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm not. Nobody should be expecting Shaka Khan to come out with a pixie cut. You see what I'm saying? Like you're focusing on the wrong thing. I'm happy that she was sober. Look how many times we've looked on YouTube and Shaka is lit on stage. You see what I'm saying? So she's sober. She's celebrating her sobriety. She's still able to work and she can move and stuff like that. I don't care if how she got her hair or you know, but what I'm saying is it's marketing and it's the brand. So you can't expect for people to,
Yeah.
you know, to just change
One
and you
second, let
know,
me
stuff like
put you
that.
on mute.
Exactly. And then also these are older women, you know, and it's okay to for black women to age like black women age. Why should she have to be looking like Nicki Minaj up there? No, she's, you know, be who she is. If she feels comfortable with wearing her big hair that she's been wearing for, you know, for 40 years, you know, then go for it. But the same thing, you're not making Charlie Wilson do that. You're not expected for him to perform in those type of parameters. You see what I'm saying? So the
No,
same thing, but women, well, we gotta shake, we gotta do it. And then look, we don't do that for Cher. We ain't making Cher change up nothing. Dolly Parton, we ain't expecting Dolly Parton to change up her look. You know, it's not right.
well, I got to jump in here. First of all, you made a mistake when you said Cher. Cher always changes up her style.
But what I'm
Always
saying
changes up her
is,
style. So you
but what
messed
I'm
up when you
saying
said her. So
is,
now, but my
I don't
point that I'm
remember
making
Cher
is,
changing up her
are
style.
you kidding? Then you don't know Cher. Cher
She
always
might have
comes
the
changed
with
her
whole
a,
thing,
outfits,
with
but
a
it was
different look
always
see,
the
or something.
long black hair.
yep, with the
Man,
bang.
listen. Cher changed up. Just like I said, her, Madonna, and certain people. My thing is what I'm saying is, and like I said, I'm not saying nothing about their singing. Because I love Shaka Khan. She's a great singer. But once again, if you can go back to something she did from the 70s, 80s, and it's always the same thing, I mean, kind of change it up will kind of boost your thing up a little bit, you know? And it's just refreshing to see, oh, Steph, okay, I dig it. And
If
then you can
it
always
if
go,
it if it works, why change it?
but
Yep,
you
People
don't,
I
come to
agree.
hold on.
hear
How
the
you know, hold on,
songs.
hold on. How you know if you
People come
don't?
to hear the classics.
Okay, we got that part. We got that part. Now, how do you know if you don't change it that it won't work?
How many
I
times
rest
have
my
you seen
case.
Shaka?
Rest my case.
Nobody want to be
You don't
70
rest
years
no
old
case.
Okay,
and get,
let it
yeah.
ride. You know.
Why are you 70 years old? Now she got to figure out what I'm going to do with my hair today. No, no, that's not how it works. For what? And then the people, its attention span is on, 2 seconds long. That lady already, she got her team she been working with since the, civil rights movement. Let Shaka do what she gonna do.
Well, okay.
Shaka.
Well, first of all, you got to remember the initial question. Y'all talking about what she was wearing. Okay, so let's start with that. That was the initial question. You
No,
dig?
it was not the initial question.
What was
You
the
you,
initial
you just
question then?
love to play devil's
No, no,
advocate.
no. Okay, hold
Uh,
on. Okay, correct me then. What was the initial question?
okay, I'm gonna read it again.
Oh, you don't know the top of the dome?
Please reread
Kevin,
it so I can. I don't know.
of her The Queen's Four Legends one stage tour, 72-year-old Shaka Khan's revealing lace outfit at a recent live show prompted fans online to question whether it was appropriate for a grandmom, even as she continues to electrify audiences alongside Patti LaBelle and Stephanie Mills.
Talking about what she's
So the
wearing.
fans came on saying she shouldn't have had what she had on since she
Hold
was
on. Now,
72.
correct. Now, didn't I just say the initial question was what she was wearing? Didn't I say that? Didn't
Kevin,
I
you
just say that?
talk you try to get us going in circles because
Hold
you
on,
want
hold
to
on.
be
No, no,
right
no. Once
all
again,
the
you
time.
can't listen. With all due respect, that's how I say people don't listen well. That's what I
No,
did
you
not
don't
even
listen
say.
well because the question that I asked the panel was,
What?
what say y'all about her outfit? And you said, well, I don't see her outfit. Why you ain't got a picture of the outfit? All you
Right.
had to do was go to Google. I
Hold on. Slow down. To be fair, I like to be fair when I speak. What do you mean? All I had to do, you brought it up. You should have had it as a journalist. You could have
I'm
said,
not a journalist.
hold on. You threw it on the table, right? So how's a person supposed to comment on something
Then
they
that
have
makes
no
me a
knowledge?
thrower. I ain't no journalist. I'm a thrower since I threw it on the table.
Yeah. Okay, you threw it on the table. You know, people comment on stuff they know nothing about. I can't comment on something I don't know nothing about. I don't know what the outfit looked like.
But you
You
do a
know,
good
if
damn
it
job
wasn't
of
for my
trying.
man Leezy had to do your work for you. He had to go dig it up in there. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
so
Now,
I
everybody
think,
has access to everything I got access to.
yeah,
I'm not running the boards. I can't throw a picture up there or whatever. You could have gone and did your look for the picture and commented. Nobody else had a problem with it.
Oh, now you want to throw the responsibility on me when you
No,
threw it
I'm
out
not.
there.
You throwing it on me?
No, I was trying to put it on you. I ain't trying to throw it on you.
All these other cougars are doing what they're supposed to do.
But
It's a cub that's
point
giving us a
was
hard time.
the point was you was talking about her
The
outfit.
point is you have no point.
Okay, all right, I get your point. You just got scared and ran. Listen, I don't run from nothing. And if I'm wrong, I can capitulate and bow down because I have enough
Here we
humility
go.
inside me to say, you know what, I was wrong. But nah, I keep it right on point, baby. You know, you just gotta listen.
The question was, how did they feel about what she was wearing? Everybody else got their phone, supposedly, and went to see what she was wearing. Kevin wants everybody else to go and throw it up for him, and you were going to say the same damn thing, whether I put the picture up there or whether you went to go see it for yourself.
First of all, I couldn't find it, number one. That's why I asked my man Lee's. I said, where is that? Where you find it on?
Why you couldn't find it?
I just couldn't find it. They know
what did you put in? What did you put in?
He told me.
What did you put in?
I'm sorry. Don't make no difference.
Let me put my hater blockers on. What did you put in, Kevin?
I'm sorry.
You know, everybody, he's clearly not tech savvy. And in his generation, you know, sometimes it may be hard for older gentlemen to, you know, find stuff on the internet.
Not old.
I know we're not cutting up on here. I know we ain't trying to do that. Oh no, please let's not cut up.
Ain't nobody trying to cut up.
Let's not
Kevin,
cut up. That's my department.
All you had to do was go look at.
That's hold on. I want to know if we cutting up because I got my Ginsu ready. Slash ice.
I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes I gotta call. I gotta help my uncle.
I got an EBT card too. I got my benefits.
I have to help my uncle.
Let's move on. We're moving on. We're moving on because we are getting close to our 9:30.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Kevin, I just think you got
he's cutting up.
Going against people. I've never seen you be on here and just agree with anybody.
Because I don't acquiesce. I don't acquiesce. If you listen, you ain't gonna pee on my leg. Tell me it's raining.
All right, let me see how many comments we got on here today. We got G Mama Lee, we got Malt Leezy, we got Kebby Kev, we got Diane Quarter, we got Bella. I don't know who is under the iPhone, but and myself. Okay, this is for the comics on here, and this is gonna close out our show. If you could share the stage with 3 comedians, dead or alive, who would make up your ultimate dream lineup? Tell us who and why. Malt Leezy.
I like Kenny Howell. I like
you
him.
like Kenny Howell? Okay.
Yeah, that dude there silly, man. I like Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, okay.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna have to go out there with Rich, man. I the honesty. He remind me of my daddy, man, Richard Pryor.
Oh, Rich. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Kebby Kev.
It would be Richard Pryor, so I could learn. Shecky Green.
I don't know Shecky Green.
You never heard of Shecky Green?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No.
Wow. Look him up, Shecky Green.
And I've been in this business 48 years.
And I'm surprised you never heard of Shecky Green.
Is he black or white?
He's white.
Okay, never heard of him.
Shecky Green, yeah.
Okay, and who else?
And Flip Wilson.
Okay, I can see the Flip Wilson. But what is it about Shecky Green that you like? Was he a good writer?
Yes, and it's for me. It's always about the writing. It's always and also another perspective. You know, and once again, I saw a movie. I don't know if y'all familiar with it, and I don't know what it is about this movie. Every time I see it, it cracks me up. Not only because of the writing, but sometimes comedy is physical, and there's just so many people in this movie that are just so funny. It's a mad, mad, mad world.
Oh, that's long. That's old.
This movie is so funny.
Can you let Miss Owens in? Kiki, she's waiting backstage.
This movie is so funny, and the character development in it is so masked. Everybody who was in, I think some of them might have been in vaudeville, to whoever is in this movie. And one of the cats who I think is a genius is Jonathan Winters.
Absolutely, Jonathan Winters.
Absolutely hilarious. And once again, I don't just study, black comics. It's comedy, period. But, I don't care. And these guys were funny and they're genius. as comics.
Yeah.
If you never heard of Jonathan Winters, check him out. He is so
Well, a lot of
funny.
people have not, and it's like I was saying, Tim Jennings, how are you? Um, a lot of people, get on and say who their comedy mentors were, who influenced them. Back when I was coming up and getting into the comedy thing, my person was Carol Burnett. I
Oh,
knew about Mom's Mabley, but
mm-hmm,
I was able to really see Carol Burnett at work,
mm-hmm,
Lucille Ball at work.
mm-hmm,
There weren't that many I had the albums and all
mm-hmm,
um of the black female comics, but
mm-hmm,
like she was the person that I
mm-hmm.
knew a lot more white comics than I did black.
And she is funny as heck. You can't.
Yeah, and Carol Burnett is still going strong.
Yeah, she got to be at least 80, I think, or 70.
Oh, she got to be in her 90s at least.
I
How
don't
old
know.
is cause what's her name? The one that she was also a singer. Uh played Mama.
Vicki
What is her
Lawrence.
name?
Vicki
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Vicki Lawrence
Hmm.
was a lot younger than her, and Vicki Lawrence used to be a singer too. She did That's the Night the Lights um went out in Georgia.
The
Hmm.
Uh
original?
yeah, Vicki
I thought
Lawrence
that
used to
I
sing.
thought that was
Vicki
a
Lawrence.
country singer.
She was a country singer.
No, it was a man. No, I'm thinking of
No,
a
she
rainy.
did
I'm
it.
thinking of a rainy night in Georgia.
Yeah, that's the one
That's
you're
a black
thinking.
man with a rain eye.
Brooke Benton. Brooke Benton.
Burnett is 92.
Okay, G Mama
Oh,
Lee.
you know what? Karen, have you ever heard of Charlie Barnett?
Yes, of course. Who hasn't heard of Charlie? That's like the people going on and say, "Don't why would she say she don't know Damon Williams?" But yeah, Charlie
Now
Burnett.
he's another matter of fact. He's the reason why I started doing comedy. And when I
Yeah.
tell you this man, it's unfortunately that the world or the mass web didn't ever see him, but he was a powerhouse when it came to
Yeah,
stand up, and
but
he would.
the drugs
Yeah,
and was
yeah.
he homeless or he just liked to
He
perform
was no,
outside?
he was for a while. Him and another cat, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say his name too. Rick Aviles. Rick
Rick
Aviles.
Aviles. Yeah,
Yep.
Rick Aviles. He was in Ghost.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Both of
and
them.
he used to host Apollo.
Correct. Right. Right.
Yeah.
They both were powerhouses when it came to
Mm-hmm.
stand-up comedy. And I seen them both also in Washington Square Park. Man, it'd be hundreds of people out there wanting to watch these guys perform. They
Yeah.
were actually powerhouses, but unfortunately, they both
They were the precursor to Dave Chappelle
yeah,
because Dave Chappelle went along that genre. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Oh,
And both of them were phenomenal. And
yeah.
I had a chance to work with Charlie. He came to my house. I did some stuff with him. Oh man, he was good.
Yeah.
He was that good. So that's it.
Grandmama Lee, G Mama Lee.
G Mama is not grandma.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I would say
You moving
George.
your foot like you a grandma. Look at your foot back there. Okay,
Oh
go
yeah,
ahead.
you can see what I had it up. I was just stretching it. George Carlin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he was a goodie.
I would say Mom's Maybelline. Lucille Ball. I guess Bill Cosby.
And why those people? Why
And Bill
those?
Cosby. Because I liked Bill Cosby.
You all over the place with that one, but go ahead.
No, so who you want me to say first?
Oh no. But I'm saying to you, they all have different styles. That's why I was just.
So my comedy style is eclectic, as different styles. I'm not a one style. I'm observational. I'm blue. I'm clean. I'm a very eclectic person.
Mhm.
So that's why I have different style, different taste. I like that Bill Cosby's comedy was family and not clean, but just family and self-centered, like and observational. That for me, that was his style. Mom's Mabley, for a woman of her time, was just bold and real, and I can't even imagine how it was to be a woman in that time. Where just in the time she was, I just can't fathom the boldness she had to have to be a comic. George Carlin just was just uber. I mean, just so intelligent.
When it came to wordplay, yeah, he was great.
Wordplay, politics, just observation on how the world runs. Like he told jokes.
What happened to George Carlin?
He died.
What happened to him? I know he died, but how?
I don't even know. I'll find out. But George Carlin, stuff he said 30 years ago sounds like he said it last night. Like, wow. Like,
and I tried to get into Richard Wright, but Richard sometimes was a little off kilter for me. You really had to just sit and really study him. Yeah, he was a white guy.
Richard Wright, the white guy?
Right. Richard Wright.
The white guy?
He's very deadpan.
Yeah, deadpan, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I like deadpan. Like I said,
that's when you cooking.
Sometimes I like deadpan.
That went totally over your head.
I did Bill Cosby with Carol Burnett just was physical. I mean, Lucille Ball was just physical and goofy. Like, I'm very physical sometimes and just goofy. So she was just very likable. And yes, so that's why I like Lucille Ball, because like when her comedy was so like Ricky, like she was so animated and goofy. So I like her. So yeah, okay. I don't have a one style, because I just, even in life, the way I dress up, I'm just very unique in my comic voice. Each joke is its own personality for me.
Okay. Comedian Owens.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I had to get off of mute. How y'all doing?
Oh, okay.
So
mine.
How
are you? Thank you for joining us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I don't know why I'm still stuck on Monday. I just got off work. But so mine would be Cara Burnett too, and Lucille, but Flip Wilson would be one, and Benny Hill.
Benny Hill, yeah, that was
because he wasn't really talking, but he was sneaky, and I don't know why, because he was dirty, and I don't do no dirty, but yeah, I liked him a lot too. So
yeah, Benny Hill.
Just because you don't do it, don't mean you can't like it.
Right, exactly, yeah. And
Tim
Bill
Jennings.
Cosby, yeah.
Okay, all right. Tim Jennings coming to us out of Birmingham, Alabama, somewhere over there in Alabama. Tim.
Yeah.
If you had the choice of working with some comics, known or unknown, who would it be?
Love Paul.
That would be the perfect show for you.
Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney.
Oh my God! How did I not say Paul Mooney?
Red Fox.
Red Fox.
Robin Harris.
That's kind of that's like. I don't get that, because you're a clean comic, but every comic that you name does blue humor.
That's that adversity that come with that. You can share those styles though, but you can make it your own. I came from that energy first. You remember, I was prerogative. I use my word, not prerogative, with my comic. I used to curse a lot too. Remember. So that transition I made, I came from that style to where I'm over here now, like with George Carlin. I worked with George Carlin twice at the Alvin Stevens Center here in Birmingham, Alabama. And the style was still the same, because he has his humor. He smoked 3 cigarettes. Basically, y'all was talking earlier about how Dave Chappelle was. It was it's a spinoff of that in so many ways. Because George Carlin, you get on stage and smoke 2 or 3 cigarettes and do about 3 hours just talking sense of humor, and would just be hilarious with it. So I had the opportunity to sit up on that type of teaching on some shows here in the city. And I kind of like picked up certain little nuggets off him and just twisted and used my own way. That's so, it just depends on who you pay attention to in this game.
Alicia, are you? No, Alicia's not a comedian. Bella, and then we'll go to the grand dame of comedy, Miss Diane Corder. Bella.
Okay. Hey. Okay. So.
Oh, Herlon. I forgot Herlon's on here too.
This was actually really difficult for me. Joan Rivers was a really I I enjoy Joan Rivers, and I still listen to her. Even now. There's a comedian out of Detroit. He's a younger guy. Well, maybe I don't know, but he's a young guy out of Detroit. Been in the game for a little bit of time, but his name's comedian CP. And I think this guy is just hilarious. I enjoy watching him. And then I like crowd work. I've been trying to work on my crowd work and things like that. So I'm really just inspired by crowd work. And then Barbara Carlisle, you definitely know it. Yeah, absolutely.
You. I'm going to come back to that. And I want to see if Kevin and some of the older comics agree with me when we talk about this crowd work thing. Herline, you had the choice of somebody to work with. Any comics? What would be your perfect show with you on it?
My perfect show. I'll give anything this world security.
You're breaking up. We can't understand you.
Okay.
You're it's going in and out.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I said I'd take anything in this world to see Dirty South and Tyler Craig back on that stage. I'll take you and Diane Corder. That'll be my show because I know my stomach gonna fall out. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. But I'll take anything.
We lost some greats.
Yeah. And Tyler Craig. I'll take Tyler Craig and Dirty South because them two, I watched them. I watched Dirty go behind Tyler Craig, and she can go behind him. And I watched Tyler go behind Dirty. And Barbara Carlisle, I know you can go behind him too. I know you can. Because I know. And Diane Corder, I know it'll be a hell of a show.
Okay.
Diane Corder dressing like Showtime.
Yeah.
Diane Corder.
Yeah, I'm here.
Your perfect show, what would it be? Who would it be?
Believe it or not, it would be Tony Roberts.
Tony Roberts, yeah. Tony Roberts, oh my God. Won't be nothing left on the stage.
Yes. And Robert George Carlin and Joan Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Harris.
I never got the opportunity to meet Robin Harris, but I would have liked to have been on the show with him.
He was in Chicago that day.
He was a nice guy.
He was.
Yeah,
he was funny. I mean, he was hilarious.
Super funny. That's so real.
Yeah. I used to hang out with him when he came to Uptown. And I got some pictures of him too. We was hanging out, and
that's good.
Me, him, Bernie Mac. Yeah.
Bernie Mac. Oh my God, Bernie Mac.
Oh yeah, Bernie, my friend.
Yeah.
Bernie was my personal friend. He was stupid funny.
So I got a chance to mess around with these cats. They were cool. But the one guy who had to do his comedy was a little often, but one comic who I always got to mention who was very nice to me, and he didn't have to be, and I'm so sorry he's no longer with us, and he really took time to drop some jewels on me, was Robin Williams. Robin Williams. I always
But from what I gathered, Robin took a lot of comics stuff.
He might have. I heard that, but with me, he was nothing but pure gold.
Yeah, I heard he was a bar.
2 times. I ran him 2 times, and the second time it blew my mind because it was like a year and a half later, and I bumped him. And the crazy part about it is, I ran into him at Michael Jackson's party. And I'm just looking at my eyes are wide, all these stars and celebrities. He looks at me and says, "Hey, Kevin, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hello, Mr. Williams." He says, "Come over here." And he introduced me to the producer of Saturday Night Live. And
really?
And that's why.
How did he know you?
Because I had met him a year before that.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the first time. I thought he just knew you from seeing you somewhere or something.
He was filming a movie called Moscow on the Hudson. And they had a break, and I just asked him, "Mr. Williams, could I talk to you?" And I figured he would brush me off, but he chilled and talked to me about 7 to 10 minutes, and it was really nice. So when a year and a half or so later comes, I didn't think he would remember me at all. I mean, who am I? And how I got into the party.
The girls them sugar.
Huh?
You said, "Who am I?"
So anyway,
I said the girls them sugar.
How I got into the party is another story. And when he saw me, he said, "Hey, Kevin, how you doing?" I'm like, "What?" And he says, "Let me introduce you to somebody." And he introduced me to Dick Ebersol, who was producing Saturday Night Live at the time. I get this call, say, "How would you like to be on Saturday Night Live?" I'm like, "What?" I hung the phone up and everything, and it was true. And he was always, I
Did
always,
you get a chance to be on?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing. He was a good comic. Like I said, sometime in life you meet some people. Like when I met Isaac Case, same thing. Who would think I would start working for this man? Beautiful man too. Him and Bob Slade. Beautiful cat. So throughout the journey, man, I've met
You
some
said
people.
Bob who?
Bob Slade.
Oh, Bob Slade.
Yeah, he
Is
was
that the bulldog of comedy?
no. Bob Slade was a journalist.
No, Bob Slade. Okay, I
He
remember.
had pictures.
Okay.
He on 98.7 Kiss FM. He was the head news guy
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
And he was an encyclopedia boy. Anything you want to know, especially when it came to news or black history and news, Bob Slade had it. Man, he knew his stuff. He was down with the Negro Ensemble League, and he was down with all them cats from back then. So, him, M. Tume, got to work with him too. And like I said, Andre Harrell, I got a chance to work with all these cats, so it's been all right.
Okay. Bella brought up, I think it was Bella that brought up the thing about crowd work and whatever. Um, when, and I don't know if y'all will agree with me because, I have been in this business 48 years. And when they start talking about crowd work, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this is what comics have been doing the entire time. Don't act like it's something new that just happened because that's how you get it. With me, I engaged my audience to measure how they were taking me. So of course you want to go out into the audience and call the people in and say, okay, what do you do? To make it more personal, more. But what say you of the comics?
Wait, what's the question?
She was talking about she wants to learn to do crowd work. She want to get better with crowd work because they started like when you just sit there, like Matt Rife was doing, like what Nate Jackson has started doing now, and they're making it like it's some new phenomenon. But comedians have been doing that the entire time because to me, it's like engaging with your audience. You do your jokes, and you still got to become personable.
Right. So
with the audience.
You know what that is. You know what that is. It's like boxer braids. You know what boxer braids are?
No.
You don't know what boxer braids are? They're corn braids. When white girls get them, they're called boxer braids.
Yeah, we're talking about crowd work right now, though. We're talking about crowd work. You went to the left. You went far to the left.
So now white people are doing what we both, crowd work basically belongs to the, please don't cut me off, thanks. White people are doing something, we have done crowd work, more white comics, but it was more our style. Right. So that's why you said Matt.
I don't think it was a black or white thing. I just thought it was a personal thing.
It's more a black thing because it comes from our culture. Snapping and talking to the crowd and Baptist black churches. It's more from our culture. White comics did it, but it comes more from our culture than theirs. So they're thinking it's new because now the white boy can do what we do naturally.
Can I add something? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
I think I do agree. I don't think it's anything new. I think the emphasis is like the time, like the percentage of your show. So like, for example, I can't tell you not one Matt Rife joke, but he spends a lot of time during his show strictly on crowd work. You see what I'm saying? So it's maybe it's like 60-40. I don't know. So I think it's maybe that's what I'm talking about when I say crowd work, because when you look at like stuff on the internet, that's what when you look at your highlight reels and stuff like that, that's what people are expecting you to post, your highlight reels of doing crowd work. So that's what I was talking about. That's what I think it's really time, how much time in your set you dedicate to interacting with the crowd as opposed to doing your set.
just putting it all together and like on the track and the music
Who's
wise,
talking?
I'll probably give it to Royce. If we talking just strictly bars and like if you put him on a stage with a microphone.
Who's
What
talking?
is that?
Hello?
Yeah, anyway,
You can
when
look
it
at the
comes to
thing and see who it is when the microphone is
nothing lit up.
when it comes to crowd,
Because I thought there were only 2 guys on here, so I was wondering who. There are 3 guys on here,
somebody was
and it
watching
wasn't
something
Tim
on
that was
TV.
talking.
Yeah, it must have been somebody was watching on TV. I was trying to see, but it's not. It's not showing.
crowd work is an art form in itself.
Yeah, it
And
really
like I said,
is.
I don't believe it's a
And
black and
not
white thing.
everybody can do it.
No, this is true, and it takes time to develop that, you know.
Yeah.
And it boils down to being a good entertainer and the time you have in. Now, if all you have is crowd work and you're really good at it, then so be it, you know. But I
Yeah.
like to have new material. I just like to write so much, and sometimes you can come up with a new joke by doing crowd work, you know. And
yeah.
when you and the audience are in sync with one, that is the best show you could have, especially when you know they with you and y'all on the same side, you know. I even had a time where I was telling somebody today, you can have a heckler, and sometimes the heckler is more funny than you are. I've had that experience too, but how I flipped it was I told them, hey, that was pretty good. And I repeat the snap that they said on me, and the audience start laughing. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna use that one. And that's how I was able to flip it around. But all those things come in with time. The more stage time you get, and the more comfortable you are with yourself and your material, or you just don't care. And the more shows I had where I didn't care, turns out to be some of the best shows I've ever had, you know. So once again, it all depends on who you are as a person, as a comic. And like I say, crowd work is good. They like to engage too. You know, they like to get some stuff off, you know. So
But I'm gonna think I don't watch my Ralph, but some of those some stuff that appears crowd work is canned responses to possible scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
They said it. I've heard that it's staged.
Yeah, this
I don't know how true it is, but
you put plants in and have people. Some people do that. Some people do that, but it's just that sometimes it don't work. And if you ain't got nothing else to fall back on, then you just stuck up there trying to pick somebody in the audience to lift you back up where you belong, so to speak.
Yeah, but
Robert,
think about
3 years ago.
Okay. What's the average time a person is doing if you're headlining? The average, I believe, if it's still the same, is like 45 minutes.
45 to an hour.
When I was doing colleges, they said, okay, we need to do 45 minutes. That's why I said, you don't want an hour? I said, no, 45 to an hour. I usually wind up doing just a little bit over, but if you give them 45 minutes of good stuff, you're good. They're not going to sweat anything else, especially if you had an opener on top of that. So they've gotten an hour and a half.
Well, that was back in the day. The attention span since COVID has shortened tremendously. And with the advent of them having the internet comics and just putting up a clip and everybody thinking it's funny, a lot of people don't have the stamina to sit through a joke, a well-written joke. Everything is microwavable now. So you got to be a real comedy aficionado to sit through 45 minutes of the headliner, 20 minutes of a feature. If they put up people that just doing time, open micers, and a host, you got to really love comedy to go through that, because they have really taken comedy and just meshed it together so that you don't know who headlining, who featuring, who doing what. Because everybody think they deserve to get up there and do as much time as they possibly can, especially in black clubs, because they have no kind of
I've been there.
Order,
yeah.
Barbara,
I mean, the show's supposed to start at 8. The headliner ain't getting on till 11:30, 12 o'clock. I don't even want to be sitting there no more. So I know what can I tell the audience? You done put up 50 million people. You kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna start show when we get a crowd." No, the crowd know what time the show was supposed to start. If they miss it, they miss it. They'll know to have their ass there the next time.
So
they
let me
just
ask you,
changed so many rules in the comedy game that it's just you don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, let me ask you a question. How many comics you think it is for a nice show, nice comedy show? How many comics?
It should be a host, a feature, and a headliner.
Host, feature. So you mean 3 people? 2 comics and a host?
That's right.
Yes.
Well, how much time is the host doing?
The host comes out and do about 10 minutes to warm people up, bring the feature, and if the feature does good, he ain't even got to come back and do nothing else. Bring the headliner up because the headliner got to do 45 minutes. A show should not last longer than an hour and a half. I'll give it 2 hours. All this other craziness they're doing, the headliner is worn the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody trying to prove they funny. You're going to get your chance and you're going to realize what true headliners are going through because you got something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2 hours.
They don't. That's why the white clubs can get in there. All right, you get your ass up there and do over the 15 minutes they told you to do if you want to. I bet you won't be on the show the next night. But black clubs will let you get up there, especially if they think the person is funny and they don't have the wherewithal to get their ass off the stage. It ain't about you. Oh, I ripped. Anybody can rip in 5 minutes. I'd be surprised if you couldn't rip in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, hold on. You looking at me like it's personal. I just was wondering because, like
what you
I
said,
said,
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the screen.
Because
you just happen to be up under me.
Because like I said, because I was
well,
telling
you
you, when I was
wish you
doing
were.
college, they changed. You said they changed the game up because, like I said, now when I was doing colleges, I was the headline. I was doing 45 minutes to an hour. But I usually did an hour, but I only had one person open up for me. Okay, so
but I'm saying to you, in a lot of time, it ain't supposed to be no 3-hour show.
No.
And if somebody get up there and do over their time, you shouldn't expect me to want to go do no 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
People out there yarning. The show didn't start on time, and you still want me to do 45 minutes. It's crazy. They don't do that in the white club. Only the black rooms.
Well, I done been to a few black clubs with Barbara Carlisle, and as the person that was in the audience, I was going to sleep by the time they put Barbara on the stage. I looked at her and I said, "We need to leave, and we need to leave now."
Oh my God!
If they wanted a headliner, I yelled all the way home, and Barbara had to sit there and listen because I was driving. So, it is not fair for anybody to go to a show and you're expecting the headliner because that's what got you there. And you get people up there, and then another comic will walk in there, and he wasn't even on the show, but because he walked in there, and you know he got something else going on, and I ain't gonna mention who it was, and then you let him get up there, then he get up there, and he stay up there so darn long because he know what he's doing, because it's not a game where everybody's trying to hold each other up and trying to be good to each other and wanting the other person to become what they are or whatever. It's always like sabotagers. They come into the club, they know where you gonna be there, and they want to come in because they know they're a little bit higher, or they got more pull or whatever. I don't know. They got their own club, and these people want to start their own club, and then they come in there. Listen, I love Jesus, but I was about to cuss all the way home.
You did cuss. No, you didn't curse. But you
I did not.
You and your friend
I did not.
was with you.
No, my friend went to sleep.
Like,
she got in the
you
bag
was
and went to
show
sleep.
And going last because we would have been gone. I said, not
We
without
would
me
left her there
because I'm riding with y'all.
You had left her
Tim
in there.
Dennis, I see your hand. What do you say? Tim.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see your hand. Go ahead. And we're going on to 10 o'clock, so we're going to have to get out of here because like mine be charging me extra for all this.
Hey, Barbara, how about this one?
Hold on. Let me see what Tim has to say. Go ahead, Tim.
The host is basically 5 minutes of crowd warmer, 20 minutes for the feature, 45 minutes for the headliner. That's a great show. Everybody knows the lineup is good. So these comics at the 2 games because that's what I work at all the week. 20 minutes, 30 minutes for me, 45 minutes to an hour. Great show. I think the host can do 5 minutes, basically a crowd warmer. Each 20, headliner 45 minutes to an hour.
So long as the show doesn't go over an hour and a half, 30 minutes,
Mhm.
or 2 hours, because all that everybody want to be a headliner is crazy, you know.
Well, no. Well, the only thing I find funny, do you ever see a show where a host comes out? Let's say, I think a host, well, 15 minutes, I would say the most for the host, but some people say 10 to 12. All right,
And
cool.
that should be split up because you know, I mean, if you were the headliner, you wouldn't want somebody to keep doing all that time and whatever. Some of them, they get a laugh and they just don't know how to cut it.
What you mean, the host? No, I'm
Yeah.
saying you have a host. He goes out there, he warms them up. The first person comes on, he does great. The host will come back out and do another 10 minutes. Wait a minute, why are you doing 10 minutes again when this guy just ripped?
I was gonna say,
And the
what
next
song?
person, you can just put them on. You don't need to do anything.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, but you just should be prepared in case the feature act like fails or something.
Right, right. Then you got to get them back up there again.
Yeah, because you get them back up there, but if they already there, just bring the headliner up.
Yeah,
I call them headliner hosts.
Hostliners, what people say.
I say I call some people headliner hosts.
Yeah.
Because they're hosting, but they do as much time as the headliner.
Yes, they go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Like crack, dawn.
I done been to 3 shows. I done been to 3 shows like that, Barbara, where the people that was the host got up there and did a whole set.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the crap is going on?
Yeah. Just wear the crowd out.
Yeah.
And they do it. Some of them do it intentionally.
Yeah.
Bella, go ahead.
I'm a new comedian, and I'm a new comedian. I appreciate the opener spots that I get. I'm only 6 years in, and I appreciate those opener spots in between the right before the feature and the headliner. Because other than that, I wouldn't really have a lot of opportunities, at this point.
No, but
and
the thing about it is, Bella, they should not even be bringing you up between the feature and the headliner. They should bring you up before they bring the feature.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm going up before. Yeah. But sometimes the host is not a host, or a host is not a comedian. You see what I'm saying? So I've seen there's been hold on, honey. I've been in situations where the host is charismatic, but he's not strong enough to carry the show. So you kind of need that first comedian, that opener to go in and do what you got to do, and then he kind of resurrects the crowd after if it's needed anyway, after each person, and he sets the tone and for each person. So like I said, I appreciate that. I understand the 2-man thing, but I think it's really is vital to have that opener for me anyway, because that's how you get the new generation of comedians. That's that's how we grow from beyond open mics. In my opinion, that's what my experience has been. So
but
thank God for
the way it used to be is you would find somebody that would mentor you, take you on the road, and do whatever. Open mics are what they are supposed to be, open mics, and you build yourself up so that somebody will look and that wants a feature or wants an opener and say, hey, I like what you've been doing. But the thing about it is they are rushing comedians now. People are not taking the time to develop their craft before they start calling themselves an opener or a feature or this or that. You have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, I only got really 5 good minutes or 10 good minutes that I know people gonna laugh at every time. So what happens if you're doing your 10 minutes or whatever and the crowd is not laughing? You ain't got nowhere else to go. So that's why you got to keep doing the open mics and keep doing whatever. And if, believe me, somebody is watching, and somebody will say, okay, I've been watching this person and they don't come in. They come in when they're supposed to come in. They get off when they're supposed to get off. The people are laughing. I can groom this person, not puffy kind of way, But this person could be groomed to be a better comedian. So you get up under a Diane Corder, you get up under a Kevin Kev, and uh, uh and just do what you got to do.
You know what's so funny, Bob? You said that. That's a good feeling too, man. Because I did that with I think 2 guys, and they thank you, said, "Man, I thank you so much, man." Because you see the potential in them too, especially if they got good writing. But it's so funny in the beginning. Like I had 3 minutes. It was at the comic strip. After that 3 minutes, man, it's like I ain't got nothing left.
Yeah, and you got to
Yeah.
be honest with yourself.
Yeah, but it is so scary. Well, for me, it was so scary. 3 minutes is like eternity.
Yeah,
When you
it
first
could
starting
be.
out. Now you say,
And the worst thing that you can do when you have auditions and you've been in the game for a long time and somebody will say, okay, we just need 3 minutes, and you're sitting there saying to yourself, what the hell
yeah,
am I
yeah,
going to say in 3 minutes?
yeah,
Then it becomes hard again
yeah,
because you're so used. You're like 3 minutes. I don't even know what joke I have that's 3 minutes. I don't,
yeah,
because
yeah.
now you're not even thinking about how long jokes are. Okay.
Right, exactly. So once again, it's funny, and let me share this with you. It's funny, I had to do a thing for ABC. It was called the ABC Showcase, and man, I tell you, anybody get a chance to do that is great. They said to me they want to see you do 3 minutes of stand up, and it's in front of 3 people. I'm like, how am I supposed to do stand up in front of 3 people? So I'm putting all this pressure on myself. I'm getting a headache, and my mind just says, cut it out. Just go in there acting a fool and just be normal. And that's exactly what I did. Soon as I went through the door, in my head, I heard action. And I just started cutting up. And the lady said to me, and she was black, and she did the right thing. She said, boy, you straight up fool. Boom. And I knew I had it. And once again, it's so you got to sometimes change your psyche,
Yeah.
because
But
that is
that's easier said than done because I can go up and do stand up all year long, but when it comes to like doing a TV taping or something,
mhm,
all my mind is thinking about what jokes I'm going to do.
mhm,
How long do I have to do these jokes?
mhm,
What if the audience takes me in a different direction?
mhm.
So, I mean, I came with a prepared set,
Right.
but sometimes the audience takes you in a different way.
That's true
Sometimes some
too.
jokes might go
Right.
flat.
And sometimes you got
Sometimes
to.
them assholes will set you up for failure.
But no, and you have enough material, and you've been doing this long enough that you can
But
switch
that
gears.
I know that, you know that, but everybody doesn't know Barbara Carlisle. Everybody doesn't know Kevin Kev. When I went to do Comic View,
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to do my show when I flew out of Georgia, flew into it to California. I had to stay. I was staying with Hope Flood. Uh,
Hope.
my show was slated for the Wednesday night. That was when we had to do 2 shows. If they picked you, you get to do a second set. So they told us to bring 2 outfits. Okay, the taping started on Monday. My taping was Wednesday. I had set it up with Hope Flood that I was going to get my hair done for a lady there that that's when I was wearing my hair very short, whatever. And that Wednesday, and we were just gonna go to the shows. Just before we left, I was gonna, because I wasn't supposed to be taping that night. I was gonna wear shorts. We weren't gonna do nothing but sit in the audience. All right. Something at the last minute say wear a suit. I wore a suit. When I got there, we went back in the dressing room to see the other comics, before the show started, before the taping started. And I see my name on the door. And I was like, oh, shoot, they already got my name up. So the lady said, oh, you're Barbara Carlisle? I was like, yes, ma'am. He was like, you're taping tonight. I was like, I'm taping tonight. She was like, yeah, you're taping tonight. I said, no. I had my little paper. I was like, no, I'm supposed to tape Wednesday at this, and I'm going to get my hair cut. I had my hair just slicked down. And I said, my hair's not done. This is not what I wanted to wear, whatever. And they were not trying to hear. They was like, if you don't take the night, and we had to get ourselves in. And mind you, they were only paying $150.
Yeah.
So She was like, if you don't take the night, you're not gonna take. So I'm like, but I don't have a second outfit. Oh, we'll find you something to wear. How the fuck you gonna find me something to wear? How are you gonna find me something to wear when you don't even know my sizes? And I know y'all ain't got no costumes for people to wear. If you did, you wouldn't have told us to bring our own shit. So, man, I was like, my hair's not done. So that's when they gave me them little Josephine Baker little things in the front of my hair for my first taping. And you can look at my face and tell I was pissed to my highest pistivity. And not only that, that was when they had the 3 people judging to see who would be going to the second round. They already had it determined who was going to be the second people. I was funnier than both of those people. You think they chose Barbara Carlisle? They knew from the beginning they wasn't going to choose Barbara Carlisle.
Wow.
So when you go see me with that black and white plaid suit on, and my hair combed to the side, they really screwed me over.
Wow.
So I ended up, if you look at some of the old comic views that are playing, they are all playing now. If you got, the streaming channels, they are playing. I'm sitting out in the audience with the suits that I was supposed to wear on my taping, watching other comics.
That's
so,
funny.
man, so the politics of the whole game was crazy, you know, and it was just like,
well, like it's funny that threw you off guard, and you never know. Well, that same thing I tell you with my story at the Apollo. I didn't have no reason. I wasn't thinking I was going on that night or nothing. And sometimes you just there, maybe it's your moment. Who knows? Cat, and they like, I need somebody. And like I said, when they do TV, they on a timetable. They ain't trying to hear nothing. We need you. We need you.
Well, my timetable was supposed to be Wednesday. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, what happened if you hadn't showed up though? That's my thing.
I don't know. I mean, if I hadn't gone back there or whatever, and if I hadn't wore a suit, and then the lady said, "Well, if we got to send you out in a smock," so I knew right then, them motherfuckers didn't expect me to win.
Yeah,
they knew I wasn't going to win.
I bet you that lady still booking shows right now.
Huh?
I bet you that lady still booking shows, getting on people's nerves.
They probably are, but they have their picks,
Would you recognize her if you saw her again?
No, I wouldn't recognize any of them.
Oh, okay.
I mean, when anger comes, you don't give a shit what nobody look like. All you give a shit about is being treated unfairly. Just like with Def Jam.
Were they men
it took them 5 years to put me on Def Jam.
Shit, you want to trade story?
The truth, Bob Sonwood didn't like me, and he didn't like me because of Janie. I ain't had shit to do with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's Janie?
My sister used to book comedy in New York. So, man, took 5 years to put me on there. I used to go to the Peppermint Lounge and get standing ovation every time.
Oh, I used to hate.
And he'd say, "You're not ready. You're not ready." But he was putting people on.
The Peppermint was not an easy comedy room.
Huh?
I said the Peppermint was not an easy comedy room.
Nope.
Girl, it was easy for me.
That's right.
A lot of people, it was not easy for.
When you find it, it's easy.
Sometimes I ain't got nothing to do with it because you got to realize, I don't know if you ever been there, but they got bars, the way the bars are set up in there.
Yeah, people are. But
they talking like nobody's business.
This room had a reputation for being a bean room.
Yeah, for booing.
And Terminal D. But Terminal D wasn't as bad.
I never did Terminal D. Never did Terminal D.
559 was bad.
Yeah.
No, I used to love 559. You just had to appeal to the people.
Yeah.
Where was 559? New Jersey?
In Atlanta.
Yeah, in Atlanta. That used to be Bruce room.
Right.
I didn't do that.
That was a good room.
I had a good time.
It made you or broke you.
He'll break you.
Yeah, I had a good time at 559.
Yeah. But see, the thing about it is, by the time those rooms were around, Diane, we had already cut our teeth going through those white rooms, going
Yeah,
up and
that's
down
true.
that corridor, doing those shows and whatever.
That's true. We started out with the white folks.
Yeah, and I mean, we were already well into doing comedy. It ain't like today when you walk up on stage and swear you a comic today.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
Well, once again, like everything else, everything time changes. Time changes.
time
And
changes, but funny don't.
Okay.
no, but the thing about it is, it's like the further back you go with, especially in entertainment, the more talent you have to have. It was based purely on talent. Like I said, I remember when
Not
I
all the
started out,
time. Not
huh?
all the time. It's
Okay.
based on who you know and who know you and who want to push you.
A lot of time.
Well, that's the making it part, but you still have to have some type of talent. Who's made it
Nah,
with no
nah.
type
I've
of
seen
talent?
a lot of people got up there just because
Yeah.
they look like they were fuckable.
Like
Yes.
Oh,
Not to
say
say
two
I didn't
words.
look like that, but they know they couldn't come to me
with
like
no
that.
type of talent?
Yeah.
Hmm?
You seen
Come
people make
on
it with
now.
no
You
type
done
of
seen
talent?
some people up there on Def Jam and Comic View and all that. You'd be like, how the hell did they get the tape?
Oh, well,
How
I've
did they
seen
get a
that. Well,
prime spot?
that's like, and I did Last Comic Standing 3 times, right? And it was crazy because they sit up there, and certain people, if you're really not a comic, they should only let really people who know comedy judge these things. These guys were arguing on me. Yo, I think he was real funny. One guy like, well, and he wanted me to grovel and say, oh, please pick me, please put me on. And I just wasn't in that type of mood. I did it in LA and I did it in New York. I did it in New York twice and I did it in LA once. And the guy, Bolden, I forgot what Bolden's first name is. He said, man, I don't know what them guys tripping on. He said, man, you was real funny. And Craig, what's his name, said, man, I thought you was funny. Well, they do what they want to do. I'm not gonna argue with them, because I was hitting them hard too, man. And but like I said, the powers that be, listen, your turn will come eventually if you stick to it. Especially if you got the talent. But like I say, go back to scriptures.
And I think sometimes when they don't give you the opportunity, you realize you got to take the opportunity, and it makes you more hungry.
That's right.
Because a lot of people sometimes give up.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
you got kicked out, Bella. Can you let Bella back in? She said she got kicked out some kind of way.
If you've been doing it long, you do it as long as you've been doing it because you have to love it. You have to love it.
You gotta love the comedy more than you love the money. Now, right now, I love the money more.
And you got to respect the craft, and like I said, some people write and some people don't. I just happen to love writing, and the way I see things, like, oh man, I think that was funny. Some people are like, how do you think that's funny? Well, I see it differently. It's like people say, well, how you make a funeral funny? And I do this joke about I went to a happy funeral, and the time I used pause because I said a buddy of mine died, but he died right on time. So the audience looking around, we don't understand. I said, well, let me break it down. That means he died right after he gave me my money. And the audience just starts flying out because it's like, you ever had somebody die on you that owed you money? And they're like, yeah, I get it. It's so, like I said, it's so funny how you could set up a joke and the timing is right and just let stuff marinate, and and let their mind, and sometimes I hate the audience where they don't have no creative imagination. They just want to hit a regular, and that's
but it's not that they don't have the creative imagination. They're too lazy to want to think. A lot of jokes have been dumbed down,
I think,
so that sets people apart from each other. The writing part is. Go ahead, Mo.
Oh no, I'm just because I'm soaking up game. Y'all the comedians, you know what I mean? I'm trying to step into the game. But you know what I think though? I think black people are already funny. So you really got to go there. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is already funny, so you got to go there and be funnier than
they funny, but they ain't got heart. They can't get up there, so they want to see how much you can fail before they decide to stick a toe in the ring.
But check this out though, real talk, and understand what I'm saying when I say this. To know and read your crowd, because you can get a crowd that's more urban or street, and then you go to a more college or educated crowd, certain jokes is not going to work one place as it is with another. If you look at the crowd, and you can see who's who and the language that you use, because some of them crowds just want to hear PFD jokes. You know what I'm saying? One, two, three, the sexual stuff. And I debase myself because I hate doing those jokes now. You ever got some pussy? Oh gosh, but sometimes that's all they want to hear, and you get those crowds. Then you
But
get
you have to be able to read the audience. That's what most people
right.
can't do.
I say no, yeah, but that takes time too.
And if you're a headliner, by the time you get up there, you know what kind of show it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know if they're going for the dirty stuff. You'll know if you got to change words. If you're a gifted headliner.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get up. You have to learn how to. You have to know how to monitor,
read the room,
change, read the room. Yeah,
right.
And know what you can and cannot say. If it ain't working for everybody else, 9 times out of 10, it ain't gonna work for you either. So you tailor your show according to the audience. You
Let me ask y'all
be
a
able to
question,
read an audience.
because I want to add just one good question. Do you think mastering comedy is being able to go like I watch Ali Sadiq? I see he can tell one story, the whole show, but like break that story up into sections. But he's only telling it's one joke he telling. If you watching, if you paying attention, if really he just telling one joke, he just got a lot of what it's called filler in the middle.
Well, that's his
bullet
forte.
Points.
He learned.
Bullet point.
He taught himself how to do that kind of thing. Everybody can't do it. Everybody can't be a storyteller.
That's dope.
That's true.
He can tell one. He on one subject the whole hour 25
But he's
minutes.
animated with it. He knows how to. He knows inflection. He knows how to pull you in, take you back out. The
like
pregnant pauses, everything. He's mastered
like
it.
But you know who's like that?
You practice in the mirror. You practice. You know.
Once again, storyteller. Tony's like that. Tony Woods. Tony
Tony Woods. Plus, Tony is all way out.
Tony. I don't know if y'all know who Tony Woods is. Tony.
Yeah, that nigga funny as shit, man. I like.
Tony be having these long.
Tony crazy for real.
Yeah, Tony. That's my boy. Tony boy. And so I got two people like that. Him and Steve LeRae. But as you tell these long stories, you got to give them something as you go along the way. Because the payoff has got to be extra big if you don't give them nothing as you going on that long journey. You dig what I'm saying? They got to be something in there, and as you telling that story, ha 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 ha. You keep going, ha ha ha. But if all the way through it's flat, and at the end the payoff might be big, but it's like, it wasn't as big as me waiting all that long time for that long story, So once again, you got to give them something, That's just my opinion.
All right, everybody. We have been on here at 2 hours and 12 minutes. So this has been a very entertaining and eventful,
enlightening
session.
I got some game too. I got some game. That's what's up.
Well, good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad there are a lot of comics on here. Go out and tell somebody that knows somebody that got a computer. Tell them we're on here just discussing things. You don't have to be a comic. You don't have to be a cougar. Just come on and let's talk about everything that's going on in the world today. I want to thank everybody for joining in, coming through. I follow through next week again, 12 o'clock, Tuesday nights, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that being said, everybody, thank you for coming on. We're going to start incorporating some new stuff into it to get people to be a lot more voiceful in these things. I'm enjoying this. If you have anybody that you can reach out to say, hey, come on and see if you like it. I mean, you can slip out. We won't know. But if you like it, you might find something you like about it. So thank y'all so much, very much. As I say all the time, you don't have to be a cougar to have a chronicle, but you got to be a chronicle to have a cougar.
Spoken like a true journalist.
Yes, not a journalist, like a true cougar. But thank everybody for coming on, and we'll see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all. Y'all be cool.
Good night, everybody. Sandra, Sarah.